How you going, people? Well, I wanted to do a follow-up on this Tallahassee police officer involved shooting that I posted because I'm getting quite a few comments, and I'm not saying they're necessarily wrong, but I don't think it's as clear. So the comments that I'm kind of getting that kind of sparked this is when I finally read this one after I read a bunch more. Rick, I'm pretty sure deadly force is allowed for carjacking in Florida. Look, they if carjacking is listed as a violent felony, just because it's against the law and a person does it, bank robbery is robbery. It's theft of property. In most places, you can't shoot people for theft of property. If somebody goes in with a bank and is pointing a gun at the tellers and you shoot them, deadly force is authorized because you're protecting others. If somebody walks up to a bank with no weapon and says, "Give me all your money," and you shoot that person, you're going to have issues. It's just theft of property. Carjacking may be a felony, and for you to say, and I'm not picking on you particularly, Kenneth, a lot of people have this same misconception. Just because a crime can justify deadly force, that's F-O-R-C-E, by the way, but that could have been a typo. Deadly force, just because carjacking, crimes don't usually list saying deadly force authorized. I've never seen a crime that said deadly force is authorized for rape, deadly force is authorized for murder, deadly force. It says the law is if somebody's committing a violent felony, deadly force is authorized. If somebody shoots in self-defense of themselves or others, deadly force is authorized. I've never seen a crime that said deadly force is authorized. Otherwise, rape would say deadly force is authorized. Deadly force is a violent felony. If you walk up and shoot somebody in the back of the head that's raping somebody, you're going to have issues because they're going to say, "Why didn't you pull him off? Why didn't you hit him? Why didn't you try to choke him? Why didn't you tell him to stop? Why didn't you warn him?" Because when you shoot that person, you're saying you're protecting somebody of serious bodily injury and or death. Now, is rape serious bodily injury? It's probably severe emotional injury. I'm not sure if it's bodily injury. When somebody gets raped, they're not maimed. They usually don't need a medical procedure unless they get pregnant, unless you pass on HIV. And I'm not trying to minimize rape because I know I'll have the feminazis coming here. You're trying to say rape's okay. I'm not. I'm trying to get you to concept that crimes don't necessarily justify deadly force. What justifies deadly force is protecting yourself or others from serious bodily injury and or death. You have to show fear of one of those two things. When this cop in this video, in the video where he walked up to the guy that was on top of the cop, put his gun to the back of his head and pulled the trigger, it's another case in point to where I have all the freaking idiots who come here and play police expert who's never been in court, never testified, never got police training, never testified as an expert in court, never had to defend themselves in court. They come here because they got their degree on YouTube from watching videos telling you you can never shoot somebody in the back and you can never shoot somebody in the back of the head. And I said from the jump street, that is absolutely wrong and it's not true. Now, you can't shoot just anybody, but in this case, the officer shot the guy in the back of the head. So, was it justified? Yes. But why was it justified? It wasn't because the guy was carjacking. It was the totality of the circumstances. The guy had shot. They had ran from the police. He was running. And the biggest thing, he had tackled a cop. He was on top of a cop. And he had both hands on the cop's gun. That is why deadly force was authorized. Not because deadly force is authorized for carjacking. When I see statements like this, I think, okay, this guy either doesn't get it, I didn't explain it clearly, he's a drive-by viewer and he hasn't been watching all my videos, so he's not fully aware of the concepts of deadly force. Because there's not a lot of people that teach deadly force on the internet. Can't make money on it, YouTube blocks it, you always risk getting strikes. Nobody wants to tackle the tough subjects because you just get too much fallout. And I'm not saying I'm especially great, I'm just saying I cover tough topics that a lot of people won't. And I'm telling you, deadly force is only authorized if you're in fear of your life or in fear of the lives of others. Period. No ifs, ands, buts, or coconuts. Don't be trying to come here and make comments and confuse people that don't know that deadly force is authorized for carjacking. Deadly force is authorized for bank robbery. Deadly force, it doesn't mean that it's deadly force just for the crime. It's totality of circumstances and what you know. You can't shoot somebody and claim later, well, see, I was right. No. It has to be at the time you use deadly force, you must be able to articulate the fear of your life or the life of others. When that cop shot the guy in the back of the head, he justified it by saying the officer's life was in danger if he got the gun out, and my life was in danger if he got the gun out. If I waited for him to get the gun, he could have killed me or the officer. Therefore, I was in fear of my life and the life of the officer. He did not shoot him because deadly force is authorized for carjacking in Florida. Okay? I'm not picking on you, guy Kenneth. I'm using you as an example because there's a lot of people that confuse deadly force, and that'll get you in problems, especially if you carry a gun and you got a concealed permit and you use it and you make some comment like this. You shoot somebody, even if you're justified, and you make this comment, well, I shot him because deadly force is authorized for carjacking. Your shit's weak. Because the defense or the prosecution is going to have a field day with you saying you didn't say anything about fear. You weren't in fear of your life. You just shot him because you thought you knew the law. You thought you were a legal expert. You quoted to the cops that you knew deadly force authorized carjacking, so you shot him without knowing any of the facts or that anybody was in danger. That's what these statements make, and that's why a lot of times I'll delete comments if I think the person is giving out really bad information and they come here and they go, you're full of shit, you can do this, and they don't have any clue. I'll just delete their comment. I don't try to educate people that want to come here and argue. I guess I'm just too old for that. I don't want to hear it. I'm not here trying to convince you to learn. You either come here and you want to learn, you want to ask questions, you want to understand it, and you can believe and take away something, or you want to come here and prove that you're right and I'm dumb and you're smart and you watch people better than me and whatever. And if you want to do that, I got no time for you. So I wanted to clear that up because my channel is actually, I want to educate people and I want people to be more streetwise of the government and how your life is going to be turned upside down even if you think you know the law, because most people don't know it even though they think they do. All right? Thanks for the likes, and we'll end that there.